"This is my country, and it is my responsibility to change it for the better," said Ira Singhal. Imagine this. You give a very tough exam and compete against thousands across the country. You face a big health problem, but you work twice as hard and ace the exam. And then you find out that you haven't been selected because of your health condition. You were rejected for something you can't control. What do? This is a situation that a 27-year-old faced in 2010. Her name is Ira Singhal. She had always wanted to be an IAS officer. IAS stands for Indian Administrative Service. IAS officers serve the government of India and its states in many different ways. They could be in charge of districts, run important government ministries, and represent India in international meetings. Let's go back to Ira's childhood. Ira was born in 1983 in Meerut, a city in Uttar Pradesh. Since childhood, Ira had scoliosis, a spine-related problem, which made it hard for Ira to move her arms freely. From a young age, she noticed that people stared at her often. It used to initially bother her, but over time, she started responding by smiling back. Ira never let any obstacle stop her. "Having a disability was never an excuse in my family," said Ira Singhal. She studied harder in school than most students and continuously secured high marks. No one could deny that Ira was extremely determined. Let's fast forward to 2010. Ira gave the highly competitive Civil Services examination and secured good enough marks to be made an IRS officer. IRS stands for Indian Revenue Service. An IRS officer is responsible to ensure that taxes are collected properly. But she was rejected because of her health problem. Ira was devastated. This was simply out of her control. She was determined to stand up for herself. She filed a petition, complaint in court. Her scoliosis would not have been a problem with IAS, and she had always wanted to be an IAS officer anyway. Ira set out in 2011 to secure high marks, and the results came. No IAS again. 2013, same story. And again, Ira showed grit. She knew that she was very close to getting into IAS and worked even harder in 2014. Then, something wonderful happened. She not only got IAS, but she finished number 1 in the exam in all of India. Today, she is a proud IAS officer in Delhi. Further, she continued to fight her case against the IRS and won. So what did we learn today? Ira Singhal is an IAS officer who showed tremendous grit to not let her health problems stop her from achieving her goals. In her 4th attempt, she became the national topper of the Civil Services examination. Here are some questions for you. What does IAS stand for? IAS stands for Indian Administrative Service. What is an IRS officer responsible for? An IRS officer is responsible to ensure that taxes are collected properly. Ira topped the Civil Services exam in her which attempt? Ira topped the Civil Services exam in her 4th attempt. Here are some activities for you. Discuss a time that you didn't give up, tried multiple times, and eventually succeeded. Write a letter to Ira Singhal about why she inspires you. Share that letter with your teacher. In a small group, find out about one IAS officer and one IRS officer. Write down one page about them. In your next VFK class, talk briefly about what the officers do. Thank you.